Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. I am the creator and GM of the campaign, Puck Finn. For those joining us tonight, welcome. Before we get started tonight, we're going to go through some quick announcements, and then we'll get right into it. So, for those of you who are joining us for the first time or just recently, we run a number of off Twitch things. We run a YouTube channel where we post all of our campaign sessions. We run a link tree and a bunch of other things. So, and a Discord server. So, I always like to, first and foremost, kind of suggest that people join our Discord server. You can find the link to that a few different places, including on our link tree. So our Discord server is a community of people who are not just interested in D&D or Legend of Zelda. It's really just kind of, that is kind of the focus of it, but it's also really for anything you have an interest in. It can be focused on the tabletop community. It can be focused on, you know, any type of movies or shows, memes, anything that are out. We have a number of different channels. We have our general chat, and in our general chat is where we post when our YouTube sessions become live, where our Twitch sessions become live on YouTube. And that's where all the general chat happens. We have a loot chat where you can create claim dailies and make a number of purchases. We have an artwork and meme channel, which has wonderful contributions, definitely worth checking out. But to get the link to that, definitely check out our link tree. Yeah, so see, we have the YouTube channel as well. Our schedule. So we go through a bi-weekly schedule. We broadcast every week, but we have an alternating schedule where every other week we will do a campaign session like we're going to be getting into tonight. And then on the alternate weeks, we do a chat session. And in the chat sessions, what we do is we really kind of, we have a general agenda, and that general agenda deals with going over the intro in greater detail. Typically I'll actually like bring up the link tree and show you all the links, and a couple of other things. I think last week I tried to show you the Discord server because I wanted to go over the loot chat in a lot more detail, so I could show everybody how freaking awesome the loot chat is. But I couldn't get it to show on screen. And the general topic is we talk about the campaign, and we talk about, what happened in the previous session. We talk about things that we think, might be happening in upcoming sessions. We answer questions about the campaign, because right now we are getting into our 21st session tonight. And for those who haven't been following us from the beginning, it's perfectly natural that there would be questions about things that have gone on. So, and also a lot of this campaign often makes reference to things that have happened off camera as well. Notably certain NPCs or experiences that the players have had. And during those chat sessions is where we'll tend to go into them. And sometimes we just have gripe sessions. I'll have what I call my soapbox moments, where I will just realize that I feel like giving some unsolicited advice on whether it's player etiquette, GM etiquette, really kind of like anything. I call it my soapbox moments because, again, it is completely unsolicited. And sometimes we just have good gripe sessions. We trade stories about other experiences that we have had playing other sessions. We talk about preferred gaming or GMing styles. um, I think the last two sessions we've had conversations that have gone so long that we really didn't either get into the recap at all, um, or we never got through the recap. So that really just kind of gives a feel of how we how those chat sessions function. They're designed to be they're specifically designed to be interactive with everybody, with the viewer base, with the players. Sometimes the players will come on mic, sometimes they'll stay in chat. Um, we have Lido always moderating, which is always a wonderful thing. Um, we have had for the past good couple chat sessions, we've had Tyler on mic with me, which is great because um, it's really good to kind of verbally bounce off each other. And yeah, so always do recommend that people do check out our chat sessions, and also our chat sessions are never um, recorded, so they're on Twitch for a couple days and then they're just gone forever. They don't get loaded up onto our YouTube channel. So definitely worth checking out, if for no other reason than that alone. I think we got a couple new Twitch followers over the past couple sessions, so for those people, I gave that a quick double check. Gave them a good follow back. Thank you guys for the new follows. And with that, let's get into introductions. Might have to fix, yeah. I shut off the cameras during last session, so, but while I'm fidgeting with the cameras, there we go. All right, I believe, yeah, okay. So Gully will be joining us um hopefully in a little while. He let us know that he's going to be a little bit delayed. So when Gully pops in, he'll hopefully pop up on screen, and that will work a little bit hopefully seamlessly. But for the time being, to our most left, we have Lido. How you doing, Lido?
Hello. Welcome everybody. Uh Lito, play a Zora Druid, just that way you know. He's the coolest. He's a surfer dude.
For those who caught our last session, Lido is, we're going to start off in an area that we're, for the time being, going to refer to as Lido's Beach. It's something that ties very heavily into his backstory. So we're going to be learning a couple things about Lido, and and a new character that we introduced last session, Marty, who, you know what, I'm not sure what you've said about Marty, so I'm going to refrain from saying anything at this point. But yeah, so right now, welcome, Lido. Good to have you, and looking forward to flushing out your story in this session, if it heads that way.
Mhm.
Wonderful. Deacon, next we have Deacon. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, me Dikun. Me doing okay today. Me, tiny little plant creature, Deku business scrub, uh, have come long way from selling kombucha in Hyrule Castletown to fiercely protecting his homeland of Kakariko Village. Yeah, he's still growing into this whole adventurer thing, but, he's having fun with his friends at this point. Yeah, that's, Deku in a Deku seed.
True, true. Deacon, as I do tend to point out from time to time, he has been, regardless of iteration of the campaign, he has been here since absolutely session one. He has gone through um, tremendous character changes in his character arc, as you know, Leto and the other characters will be going through as well. Um,
And much like Ash Ketchum, I've grown exactly 1 year despite 4 passing.
yes, Deacon in many ways is the Ash Ketchum of the Cataclysm of Hyrule campaign. Um, but yeah, welcome, Deacon. Always a pleasure to have you. And next we have Afine. Afine is the newest addition to our campaign. A very welcomed addition. Always happy to have you on. How you doing, Afine?
Hi, always happy to be here. As Pax said, I'm playing a Zora sorcerer who's trying to figure out how this world works.
Yes, true. So, a little bit of recent backstory for kind of like what's going on for all of these characters. Um, we have introduced new mechanics, which I'm not going to go into in great detail, but basically what it is that Hylia has taken um, all of the simultaneous existing timelines, excuse me, and has condensed them all into one singular timeline. In fact, if I remember, next week when we do broadcast, because like one of the things that I do is I just go through old stuff, and there's, as I said, no shortage of old stuff for this campaign. And what I came across after last week's chat session was the original intro screen, where um, so what the intro screen is actually, let me see. Hold on. No, that different intro screen. So the beginning used to have actually a lot of intro screens. Actually, here's Leto's. And I used to have recaps for different things, and these I used to have so much fun. But um, I'll have to re-find it. But I found the original kind of like um, the original intro screen for the prologue, where as just this pulsating bead of light, Hylia spoke to the viewers and explained what the prologue was, which then um, progressed into the Cataclysm campaign, and it was great. Oh, I loved it, and it gave me like even that, which I mean, it doesn't feel like that long ago, but doing some rough math, we're at episode 21, which means it was well over 10 months ago. Well, not well over, it was roughly 10 months ago. And so, yeah, I think that's fair to say that it gave me a nostalgic feeling to kind of look at it. And um, so, if I can re-find it, actually, was this it? Yes. Oh, okay. So, so this was the original screen, and I'm not going to show you for very long, but this is what the original prologue screen was, where Hylia tells you everything that is going to happen. And sorry. So, um, one more good reason to tune in next week. Actually, you know what? Being that today is the day before Halloween, and maybe you're off doing maybe there's something fun going on around where you're going, or maybe you're recovering from something fun that was going on this past weekend. I would like to take the time to also set forth an extra special thank you for tuning in, because I do know that our broadcast schedule sometimes mildly clashes with with things like holidays. So, um, to a quick recap, and then we'll pick it up. So, the session started out with an angry mob. An angry mob that formed while our heroes were in Kakariko village. Um, kind of fair to say, messing around with the chasm that was there. Um, this started off actually in episode 19. It's actually the thumbnail for episode 19, Kakariko Village and the Chasm. So a couple, Deku and Kokiri, kind of got a little accusatory and angry with our group, who um, for whatever reason, a reaction happened beneath the chasm. And they've learned a number of things about the chasm, but not enough to form any solid conclusions about what is beneath it. They know that there's something beneath it. They do not know what it is or how it got there. And anything that I will say, anything that they have been told um, is not completely accurate. So there is something still to unfold with what is beneath the chasm of Kakariko Village. But in their escaping, they eventually ended up in, just to kind of fast forward a bit, they ended up at this very peaceful beach with a um, kind of like very relaxed atmosphere. I believe there was like a um, a burnt out fire pit, and there was this really kind of like chill hut, and we came to find out that this is where Leto spent his life growing up before the campaign. This was a good part of the area of Leto's backstory. Um, Living here, we were introduced to the new NPC Marty, who was Leto's trainer, protector, caretaker, um, a jack of all trades for Leto as he grew up and progressed and honed his own druidic skills. Um, the session ended with Gully and Deacon. I believe they were in the hut while Marty, Leto, and Afine were out in the water, kind of um, gathering supplies for a meal. A little bit of fishing, a little bit of seaweed gathering, and yeah, it was in its moment a very nice respite for the intensity that our party has endured pretty much since they were in um, since they went to the fire temple at Death Mountain. It's I mean there have been like nice moments, but it's pretty much been nonstop for them since then. And this was just a really nice moment to just exhale and take everything in and regather themselves. So where we pick up tonight, we will pick up in the water with Efine, Marty, and Leto. So um, Marty has made sure to um, equip everyone with any type of fishing or gathering items that they need. That you have some some nets. You have a little bit of maybe like hand tools to gather seaweed. Would there be hunting spears, Leto?
The thing is, no, there would be just my Triton and his. Really don't have guests.
Well, it has been some time, and you know what? Roll me insight on something real quick.
Okay.
First roll of the day.
I guide myself.
I would say so.
28.
Okay.
Very wise.
Very wise. So one of the things that you notice is that that Marty is um in like just kind of like observing the hut area, like the surrounding area. Um, going back to that burnt out fireplace that welcome, Golly. Um, going back to that burnt out fireplace that I had mentioned. Let me see if I can, okay, there we go. All right, all cameras working now. Um, you you gather that although there is nobody there at the moment, that Marty is not unaccustomed to entertaining. And in fact, what you notice by the fireplace is that he has fairly recently um, had somebody kind of in this beach area. So he definitely has not been fully hermited since your departure.
Well,
But nonetheless, no spears. Um,
okay.
so any fish that you do catch, you are catching with like a net. Um, and this feeling you just kind of um, you know, well, from a leader's point of view, it feels just the best way to describe it is that it feels right. It feels familiar. The water, beyond the beach is not like the water in Zora's Domain. It's not like many of the stagnant pools that you would find around Zora's Domain or anywhere else like Lake Hylia or anything like that. Like this water feels like it's alive, and that brings just this sense of home and right to you. Um, it feels like it's a part of you. And Afine, as you like when you first go in the water, the same thing that I'm kind of describing, if anything, um, I would imagine takes a little bit of getting used to for you. Um, with
Almost
these,
certainly,
what's that?
almost certainly, she's not used to large bodies of water
Right.
elsewhere.
So you'll just once in a while when you kind of feel like you get a hang of things, like you'll get hit by a sometimes a small, sometimes a forceful current, and it will just kind of it'll let you know that there's something there, but it will also let you know that it kind of that there's nothing bad about it. It is more raw. Like you get this feeling of just raw nature. Um, and in being in Zora's Domain, everything has this peaceful tranquility that is nice. It's you know it's wonderful. It's something that the Zoran society was built on. But the more that you spend time in this water, the it doesn't persuade your point of view. It doesn't change your point of view um, on what Zora's domain is, but this seed in the back of your mind just feels like there's a fine line between peaceful and tame. In swimming through these waters, it lets you it invigorates you to let you know that there's something more to life and nature that you may not have realized until this moment.
Oh,
In fact, I would say a couple
Was
times. uh,
is it obvious she's having this effect?
um, for that, I would have you insight at disadvantage without guidance. Because one of the things that even no matter how comfortable you are in these waters, one thing that you are familiar with is the fact that no matter what, you can never let your guard down, because the second you let your guard down, anything can happen. So even something like taking um your kind of like eyes off of the hunting and gathering, you can it is not a good thing to happen. But yes, insight me at
26.
disadvantage with
There's a
no
26
guidance.
and a 26.
Are you Jesus Christ?
I'm very good at this.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. So, um, here's how we'll do it. From what I have described, Ifine, um, like I'm describing how like the outward surrounding is affecting you. So you tell me and Leto what is going through your head, because with the 26, he's gonna grab it.
you can easily tell Athene is pretty blown away by this environment. She completely new and honestly completely wonderful. It's a different, so vibrant. This is what swimming should be. This is what being alive should be. This is fun. You can tell she's hasn't really been focusing on the hunting, more just the experience of it.
So Ida will swim up like next to her and like be backstroke, kind of like looking at her. Like, so as you can tell, you gotta be on your game when you're underwater here, because it ebbs and flows. Not as much as when you're on the surface, when you're surfing, you just ride the waves and you just kind of go with it. Under here, it's more of like it grows on you. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah, it kind of grows on you. That's why, it took me so long. Me and Marty wasn't a first time thing, when we first started doing this, because, I was kind of tiny. I was tiny, and then I grew up, and then I became big. So as time goes along, you get used to it. So you not being used to it makes sense. Yeah. So just relax, but don't relax.
Keep
Makes
watch.
sense, right?
Makes perfect sense. Uh, don't lose my guard.
Yeah. You can't kind of, do it then. She'll be fine.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll just stay close by you two.
Cool.
All right. So, at this point, Marty's net is pretty full excuse me, in regards to the amount of food that we are going to be gathering for the meal. And with a 26 on the insight, Lito, you would gather that it has been pretty full for quite some time. So really kind of what's been going on with Marty for this whole time is one, he's keeping a close eye on Afine, being that this is a first time in a situation like this. Like he can tell right off the bat, and I believe they had conversed about it before they went into the water, that she's not used to this type of aquatic environment. So he is keeping a close eye on her, and he looks to Leto with this um kind of like parental awe. Finally, maybe for the first time, not seeing Leto as a child, rather seeing him as as someone who has kind of really grown up, and he's just kind of like enjoying the moment as a whole. So he didn't want to kind of like interrupt anything, more or less just kind of like savor the moment, and recognizing how uh, special the moment is, not just for him, but for everyone involved. Um, but eventually he does swim up, and he kind of acknowledges, and he's like, listen, um, I got a pretty full net here. I think maybe we should head back, as it is, if I remember correctly, I believe it's starting to get a little bit late in the day. So,
Got there kind of in the
before we head
morning.
back, is there anything that Afine or Lita want to do?
I thought this was, yeah, I think Lito was
All
right. This
right.
was literally like the
So
first thing
before
we
we
did in
head
the
back,
morning.
keeping in the same time frame, we have Gully and Deacon um, out and about on land, kind of, and I'm going to keep this very open because I would say like a decent amount of time has passed. So when we left Gully and Deacon, we kind of left them either in or around the hut. But given the time of the hunting expedition, that's not necessarily where we would need to remain around. So it is a pretty, let me see, yeah. So that's like the
Sorry,
full
did you
size
hear what Lito said?
of the
I'm
beach.
sorry.
All right. So, Gully, what are your plans or thoughts or curiosities as the three Zords dive into the water?
Actually, I think
Ooh, I think you're unmuted, friend.
Deacon was trying to talk.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you, man. I was just saying, that I think Lito, was right when he mentioned that, like, this was
Yeah, we're not.
literally the first
Try it
thing
again.
we
We're
did
not
in the
getting
morning.
audio on you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Uh,
I don't think he can hear any of us.
Wait.
are you guys getting anything?
Wait, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I I have this on my headset, and I guess I rolled the volume down as I was like, "I'm sorry, can you repeat that for me?"
Okay, so
As everyone
Deacon,
else caught
have at it.
it. Yes,
Huh? Wait, what? I'm sorry.
I missed everything.
Oh,
Yep, he couldn't hear
oh,
anyone. He can hear you now.
Yeah.
oh. Okay. Thanks, Gilly. Appreciate you looking out for me.
No
Um,
problem.
what I was saying was, Lito brought up a point where it's like this is literally the first thing that we did in the morning, so I feel like we should have a little bit more time, even once they do the hunter thing,
Oh, okay. I
rather
was
than getting
mistaken.
into
All
it.
right.
Yeah,
Oh,
because like basically we woke up, we were like, "Hey, what are we gonna do today?" And Lito was like, "I have an idea." So yeah,
okay.
we got,
Plenty of time
we,
then.
yeah, yeah, um, but yeah, so Deacon, but yeah, sorry, I didn't mean, I also said I didn't mean to talk over you, Gully. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Thanks, man. So Gully is gonna look up to sorry, so Deacon's gonna look up to Gully, and he's gonna say, "So, no one here but us landlubbers, eh, boss?"
It would seem that way.
Hmm. You know what that means, right?
No, what
Um,
does it mean?
he takes out a very tiny shovel, and he raises it to Gully, and he says, "Sandcastle time. We're gonna make the
Yes,
biggest
let's
sandcastle."
do it.
Nice.
I
Okay.
love sandcastles. I haven't made a sandcastle since, ooh, well, since I was about your height.
Wow, man. That must have been a long time ago. You are very big, my friend.
Yeah, that was a really long time ago,
Wish
for
I could grow
sure.
to that height someday.
Ah, let's do it.
Biggest
Can
DQ scrub
ooh,
they've ever
and
seen.
can we make a moat around it and put water in it also?
Perfect. Yes. Excellent.
Sweet.
Which I will bring us water, one tiny bucket full at a time.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Oh.
Nice.
All right. So you have, you know what? I'm going to like test my skills on the fly on this. So, um, t- tell me about the sandcastle.
Okay. So, Gully is perfectly right where we need to have a little moat around it. And that's perfect because we can dig out the moat and then like we make it nice and big, like 3 feet around and like a 3 foot 3 foot diameter circle. And we pile the leftover sand in the middle. And at first, like yeah, I'll do that with my tiny shovel. And then he'll start to like kind of like mold it into like turrets on one side. And he'll say, "Ooh, Gully, do any of your new wizard powers come into this?" I'm sorry, I forgot what most of them are except for the fancy lights.
Ah, yeah, well, you're not alone. I'm still trying to get the hang of this stuff myself.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Let's
It looks
see. They can put some lights around it, but that's probably better at nighttime.
ooh,
Ah,
wow, that would be pretty
what else? What else?
perfect for
Let me think.
Halloween time. Yeah.
I could. Nah, that'll just blow it all up. We don't want that. Um. Oh, I got it. But it won't last forever. But it'll give us an idea.
That
Once we
sounds cool.
build it, I can
Mhm.
make it even bigger.
Nice. That sounds awesome. Okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. So yeah. Yukun
Ooh, I
is
can also give it some cool little like I don't know, like effects maybe.
ooh, that sounds nice. Yeah. Maybe we can ooh, precipitation. I think that lets me maybe we could like color the sand and everything.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Here. Let's see. Um hmm. Ooh, okay, perfect. We can even mark like our selected turrets. Like he kind of like builds like the like front two corners that are like the round pillars on like the front side, like on the edges, corners. Oh, nice, perfect. And he prestidigitation. He marks one with like a flaming sword and the other with like a leaf. And he says, "This way. This is our crest. They will know that it is us. We made this."
Love it.
Well, yeah. That's pretty much my plan for the day. We're gonna make the most majestic castle you ever did see.
Yeah,
Oh,
buddy.
hell yeah. um, hmm, let's see. Um, hmm, what do I think? Uh, huh. I wonder what kind of hmm. Sorry, I'm just checking my spells real quick to see if I have anything that kind of might like solidify this a little bit. Let's see. Uh, um, I can always plant growth, and now everything's covered in seaweed. That'd be kind of funny, but I'm not gonna do that. Um, but yeah, no, I think building my sandcastle with Gully is very contentful for good Deacon. I think he'd be happy to spend most of his day playing around in the sand. He's never really experienced sand before, so it's very novel for him. He's like only heard about this in like stories and stuff like that. So like this is genuinely like the first time he's ever been able to do something like this. So he's like very happy that Gully's doing it with him. And yeah, that's basically like his version of the hunting hunting trip. He tries to make it as like big as possible to like a silly point. But yeah, honestly, I do imagine that is like a perfect vision of it too, with the moat and everything. It's awesome. But yeah, that's my bit.
Yep, and I'm helping.
Hell yeah, appreciate you, Gully. This is gonna be awesome.
It
We'll
absolutely
show
is.
we'll show everyone, and we
Ah,
will
they're
live
gonna be so
inside it.
jealous when they get back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, Puck, I think now you're muted or something. I can kind of see you talking, but I also can't hear you talk.
I gotta stop touching things. So, as the as the midday sun kind of beats down, it seems to always just come down a little bit more intensely on beached areas. Um, that hunger starts to set in, and Gully and Deacon are reminded um, of Marty, Leto, and Afid going out to grab food. And no sooner did you complete the thought that they start to emerge from the water with Marty carrying a very hefty net full of various um, fish, crab, and seaweed gains. Um, Leto, Leto, five things. What would they be in your net?
I see the lips moving,
Sorry.
but I don't hear words.
Yes. Yes, I hit the same thing. So clams definitely.
Hmm.
Eel, is that would be the hardest thing that he would have gotten because the fact that you made a comment last week about getting eel. Um, Probably oysters because the fact that he has a collection of little, pearls that he would get. Seaweed, of course, and probably kale. No, not kale. You'd probably get something weird, some kind of probably like a sea anemone. It's the spiky.
Okay. And Ifine, in your net, there seems to be just one small fish that you don't remember catching. It might have just like swam into your net by accident. In fact,
That
when
is
you
funny.
hold your net up, you're holding it up to like show that it's empty, and you just find this little kind of like guppy type fish just flapping around in there all by itself.
Well, poor thing. Sorry, I
Not
didn't
bad
mean
for
to
a first
touch you.
try.
I admittedly trying wasn't exactly in my intentions. I'm sorry.
Do you keep it or do you put it back?
When no one's looking, I'm putting it back.
Alright.
Free him.
So so after that, everyone kind of like starts. He calls for everyone to start gathering over by like the fireplace. Barty comes over. He grabs a couple sizable pieces of wood to re-get the fireplace going, or the fire pit going. And um you know what? He kind of like as he like sets the wood up, he asks Gully if Gully can tend to the fire.
Of course.
He looks at Gully. He's like, this there's something about you, and I think you'd be the person for the job. You have
Ah,
a thing about you, like a flaming aura.
you would be correct. And he whips out the sword, flames it on, and lights the fire.
Nice. That's awesome.
So as the fire is being tended to, Marty starts making um kind of like the various things, and say Leto, being familiar with this, just kind of like instinctively starts doing it as well. Um, Fina and Deacon, for everything going on in this general area, what are you doing?
Out of character, I'm wondering how much fire damage I would have to deal in one turn to instantly transmute my sandcastle into glass. I don't think that's how that's gonna work, but that was a thought. Um, but anyway,
Fair.
um, um, but yeah, I will probably yeah, I guess while Gully's tending to the fire, Fiend seems free, so I'll approach her and ask her if she is used to things like seaweed. I feel like do they have seaweed in Zoru's domain? I don't remember the food there. All I remember is fishki.
Fishky.
I don't remember
Fishki.
seeing it there in the past. I'm definitely not used to it though.
Hmm. Um, hmm. I had a seaweed soup once in Hyrule Castletown. It tasted like salt, but also like plants.
I suppose it should be quite salty.
Hmm.
Be weird if it wasn't.
Hmm. Probably not as good if it wasn't. Um, I hear one of the seasonings you can get is tiny little seaweed flakes you put on things. Maybe we could make some of that, bring it around, sell it, or something, or just have it so we can put it on things. Make
Ooh,
taste explosion.
that'd be a good idea. If only I knew how to cook.
um, hmm,
A fantastic sandcastle, by the way.
thank you. I couldn't have done it without Gully. He has a real artistic touch. Um, and very, very strong hands to pack it very tight. Instrumental, truly. It was very nice. Um, but yeah, hmm, ooh, um, hmm, I'm gonna quickly like scamper over to Gully, and say, sorry, Gully, I know you're good with fire. Do you also know how to cook? I was thinking maybe you could dry some of the seaweed they pulled up with that.
I think I'm okay with cooking.
Nice.
It won't kill you.
That works for me. um, yeah. Do you think maybe you could like dry some of the seaweed? I was thinking we could take some with us as we go, kind of like seaweed jerky, or if we cut it up, we can make things taste saltier on the fly. But
Yeah,
also,
yeah. Hey, I'll get right
yeah,
to work on it.
nice. Thank you, Gully.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Gully is truly a man of Epicurean delights. Yeah.
You s- Now you see Gully kind of pondering how he's actually going to do this because he's not actually dried seaweed before.
I will give you an inspiration. I wish you the best of luck, my friend.
So
Man.
at this point, the campfire smells just amazing, and so as the food starts to come off, you can see like some of the seaweed would used as like to wrap certain fish, notably the eel specifically. Um,
Sea
the
noodle.
the clams were boiled in a nice little like pot to the side. Um, some of the fish were just masterfully filleted, amazing seasoning, and there was also a with much of the remaining um, seaweed and kelp that there was a nice, what's the word, salad that was put together. And
Mm.
as as Gully's trying to like prepare or trying to figure out how to um, dry out this bit of seaweed, Marty kind of puts his hand on Gully's shoulder and he says, "This is my good friend. There is a saying on this beach that we live by, and it helps maintain a harmonious existence. And um, I know this saying well, and I would like if Leto could teach it to you and everyone here."
Okay, so it's been a while, so I'm kind of funky on the words, but I know I'm pretty sure of it. 17, 18 years of hearing the same thing kind of gets ingrained in your brain. So it goes basically: we accept what the beach gives us. We do not take more from it. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It swells me with pride to hear those words coming from you.
But we'll also tell you a lot of the stuff that we had in like town, I don't have here. So that's why we're gonna have a little special. Marty, you've never had this before. And I proceed to take out the weird fruit that I got from the trees that we made. And we have one that's slightly bitter. So I'm gonna try and mash that up. I know we have an orange. We have an apple type. So I'm gonna kind of mix that together and kind of make like a it's a makeshift almost fruit tartar sauce. So that way it's going to add a little bit to the taste because we kind of don't have much in the ways of herbs unless we grow them ourselves. And in my childhood, we really didn't do much of herbage.
No. If anything, much of it was simply, um, like I'm hesitant to say salty because it's not technically salt. It's technically umami, but from your perception growing up, you would have associated it with saltiness.
But also, I can, if you guys don't like the taste, I have figured out from the time, again, being in town or whatnot like that, people's tastes are weird. So I learned that if you put cinnamon or if you put basil or oregano on things, it can cut down the saltiness. So if you're not that much into salt like I am and already help, I can probably get some for you. Throw some.
Cinnamon. Love cinnamon.
I recommend trying it the normal way first.
Mm, mm. Uh, I wanna try the normal fish. I wouldn't have really had fish either, to be honest. This must be like a completely new experience.
Yeah, this would be Deacon's first time attempting to consume any type of meat whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. Yeah, he always goes for like the vegetarian options.
Hmm
But I mean, yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
we would periodically joke that him consuming nuts was cannibalizing, but you know that was always more
true.
a joke than anything else.
I,
So,
oh,
yeah, you know what?
yeah. I
Describe
would
to
probably.
me, Deacon's sensation trying meat for the first time. So okay, just it's he's consuming fish. So,
Mhm.
um, as
I
he puts it like in his
I
mouth,
just
like the meat would have. Oh wait, well, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just gonna say, I imagine that like it's still like fresh and like flaky and all that.
Hmm
Um, but like I imagine that fresh and flaky is not a texture that he is used to. So there's like a certain point to which like the protein fibers like enter his mouth, and he's just like thoroughly confused. Like, ugh. Like I imagine he like I remember the first time I had a tuna sandwich, and it was just not palatable. um, I like so he's probably gonna like take a small bit and then just like stick his tongue out and just be like, "Sorry, me stick with the seaweed. That tastes better. Sorry,
No worries.
can't eat fish. Too much animal and too much sea in the sea fish." Sea noodle looks tempting, but sorry. I feel like at this point, he would see the seaweed salad as like a little more amenable though. Just because like it's still got that kind of like ocean taste, but there's like it's also like still a plant, so it's like something he's familiar with.
Mhm.
Um, I would probably ask, do you guys get enough seaweed here? Could always do that plant growth thing or something, but not sure if that would be bad for your environment or not.
And Marty takes like a deep breath in as his head turns and he looks to
Oh
the
wait, you
horizon and
guys
he
have probably
says,
already done that.
says the beach provides.
Hmm.
So you get the impression that like the more you deal with him, one of like the key things that is kind of like coming through about Marty at like this point is um he seems to be very focused on um harmony, on balance,
Mm-hmm.
and on like not trying to um alter things in any unnatural way.
I get that. Okay, fair enough. He nods. He says, "I won't do that then."
No,
And he
it's cool because I can do the same thing, and Marty's the guy who kind of taught me how to do what I can do, so he
Ah,
might be able to do it anyway.
that's true. Yeah, he probably does it better than me anyway, to be honest.
says just because we can does not mean that we should.
But sometimes it's fun.
Yes, fun is good, and we love fun, but never at the expense of that which provides. And Marty kind of looks at Lito like not in any like bad or disappointing or any way whatsoever, but he does kind of like understand and um almost instantaneously accept that um part of Lito's journey is finding his own path, and Marty cannot have an expectation of Leto to be an extension of himself. So we have like this one moment where he's very prideful, where Leto, remembered the mantra, and he has this at this point a number of moments of awakening, excuse me, where he sees Leto as this n- new, as an individual. Yeah, as an individual. Um, and yeah, it's as I said, like in no way is it like a way that he's looking at that as a bad thing. Um, he's visually he looks kind of like it just didn't seem to be on his mental agenda for today to process this. But nonetheless, he is still very happy. He's still very welcoming. He's still very everything, and he is very, um, he's very happy that Leto has returned. He's very happy that Leto has brought friends, and he's very happy that he perceives them all to be wonderful, good-hearted, kind, caring people, friends. So, um, yeah, so like as it kind of like continues and What were you making that into, Lito? Like a tart?
Well, it's like a sauce
Okay,
to be able to smear and whatnot like that.
okay. Um, so then, like, everything like kind of continues as you're all still, gathered around the fire and just kind of like relaxing and talking and taking everything in, and so Marty kind of like turns to everyone and it's like, so, um, not that I object in any way whatsoever, and it's wonderful meeting all of you, but I am just curious as to the course of events that have brought so many people here so suddenly, and you kind of like get the impression that he is like maybe a little bit concerned that something bad might have happened. It's just the natural conclusion that he's come to. Um, so he's either looking for a little bit of like easing of that mindset, or if he's correct in that assumption, he's curious if there's anything he can do that can help.
Well, you know how I left to go to Hyrule Castle,
The festival.
however long ago? Yeah. How long ago was that for you?
I mean, I'd have to check my day planner.
Yeah, your day planner.
But it's been a long time. I would count it in years instead of months or days.
Which would be
I, I don't have a day planner.
not asking you to do a day planner. I'm asking you to like the cycles of the moon, something where you actually said years. So how many years do you think it's gone?
Well, I mean, I stopped counting moon cycles a long time ago, but if I had to guess, I would say somewhere between 6 to 8, maybe.
Okay. Well, um, where to begin? So, uh, went to Hyrule Town. Some really bad stuff happened. Met a group of people. Everybody kind of left. Met some other people. They kind of left. Went through some adventures. Someone died. Uh, time paradox type thing. Heroes of Hyrule. More bad stuff happens. More bad stuff happens. More bad stuff happens. I own a herbalist shop, and then we came here.
The- So, are we just glancing over the dying part of your journey?
I and die.
And and
That
and,
should be a good thing.
and he kind of like for the first time he his posture seems to ever so subtly slump. Um, and he walks over to Lito and he puts a hand kind of up on Lito's shoulders because Lito is taller than him. And says, I I think I understand. And if after all these years you have come back and it is good to see you. But I feel that I might understand what you are seeking. And my guidance on the matter is that you can't push that down. You have to face it. You have to address it. You have to let yourself feel before you can begin to move beyond that. This is,
just by chance, is he missing the tooth that I knocked out during the prologue?
let me give a quick check.
Time skip. I'm just trying to make sure.
Let's say yes. He says I've known you as long as you've known yourself. And
Not that long then.
it's your whole life. That it seems from perspective, it seems a lot longer from your perspective than it seems from my perspective. But from your perspective, I have known you your whole life.
I knew what you made of me. You didn't know the real me. And Litos is starting to get like up in his face.
Yeah,
You the person that you created, not the person how it's supposed to be.
and that's what I'm talking about. Your burdens that you take on are not your burdens to carry.
The one that achieved them. I'm the one that got the goals completed to have them come back and explode in my face. So yes, everything seems to be what I've done. I kind of blame it on you.
He says, let's try something. He reaches down and he grabs two cool stones from the fireside. And he hands you one stone and he says, hold the stone to your chest. And then
Okay,
he says, outstretch your other hand. And he
I knew it
puts
would be that way.
and then he puts the stone in your hand and then turns your hand so you're cupping the stone.
Okay,
Says, how long can you hold that stone? Gesturing to the outstretched one. Versus, how long could you hold that stone that is clenched to your chest?
well, the answer is kind of I can just do this and I turn my hand over holding the rock. And I can hold on to it for as long as I need to.
No, the point is you can hold the rock to your chest as long as you want to. But the one that is outstretched, eventually you're going to have to let it go no matter how much pain it causes you. And you can let it go now, or you can let it go in a month, or you can let it go in a year. But the longer you hold on to it, the more it's going to hurt you.
You know, I just punch him in the face
With or without the rock?
with the rock.
All right. Not even an attack roll. Give me a straight up damage roll with with the rock as an improvised weapon.
How much does a rock do?
Let's say 1d6 plus strength. Um, and call it a crit because he's not moving.
If we're gonna do it that way, it's 8 points of damage. I only have a +1 in strength.
Well, it's a good thing Gully wasn't holding the rock. And he takes it. Uh, knock it. I would say you knock another tooth out. Now he has 2 missing teeth, one right next to the other. And he kind of like, after you, actually, let me rephrase that. After you smack him across the face with the rock, and his head, you know, turns with the blow, he comes back to you, and he goes, and he gives you the tooth.
You can keep the other one. Why would I want this one? I just chuck the rocks and walk away from him. And I'll just walk into actually the ocean. That's something I could do.
That's right. All right. So he does not give chase. He for the time being, we will say that he does not move. However, um, we're going to take it like to that point. So, witnessing this altercation, witnessing this dialogue that culminates with the smashing of Marty in the face with the rock. How did the rest of you deal with this situation?
Hmm. Um. Hmm.
I'd imagine Deacon's like mid bite, like
Pretty much. Pretty much. Like, like. You know how he has those yellow lines of excitement? It's just like now they're question marks. Um. I Huh. Uh. I look at Gully and ask if he makes anything of this.
He's flabbergasted. Why?
I um. I I glance over at Thea and go, "Do you have any ideas?" I I know he's going through a hard time lately. I I was hoping he'd be able to come here for support. I don't know what just happened. Um I guess he I guess he turned to Marty and go, um never seen him quite act like that. Uh you you must have had quite the effect on him, Sir Marty. Um
and it's only then that he starts kind of like he waits until he can hear like the splashing of Leto in the water before he just starts like rubbing the area that the rock smashed against. And um
Oof.
yeah. Anyone who kind of like takes a moment to kind of assess the situation will realize that, like, aside from the tooth, it really didn't seem to do a lot of physical damage, but it was something that hurt a little bit deeper for Marty.
Actual damage.
Emotional damage.
The Deacon is going to kind of like try to I mean, if there's a place near where Marty is standing, he would move to sit there. And he goes, "Do you have any idea where that comes from, sir? I mean,
It's not my place to comment on the seeds of that frustration, but I understand it, and because I understand it, I cannot be angry at him for it.
it I don't think we're worried about you being angry at him for it. I think what's wrong is maybe a little something else. Um, that can't have been easy. Um, worried about him though. I mean, he looks between Gully and Athene. Um, do you think we should go after him? I mean, I don't know if this is one of those alone time moments or one of those chase after him moments. Kind of worried, to be honest. I mean, he said anything can happen out there, and it's getting kind of dark.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been kind of an emotional wreck and all over the place the last few weeks. Wouldn't you say, guys?
Yeah, it's clear he's having a hard time. I mean, I know ever since things kind of happened with his his friend that it's been touch and go. But as of lately, I think he's just been having a really hard time.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
I get it, it's he sees a lot of what's happening as things going very wrong, um as if he's being like punished frequently. Admittedly, I don't personally see it that way, but I could understand how some people come to that conclusion. Um, I it's tough with that in mind because again, it makes some kind of sense. I don't know what the solution is. Um, like, sorry, what I mean to say is, I don't know how to fix the notion of things not working out. It's guess it's hard for me to. Anyway, sorry. I mean, do you guys have any thoughts on the matter? I shouldn't keep rambling. I just.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really at a loss for words. Like I said, he's kind of been all over the place.
Oh, I think I have to go after him, or at least to what extent I can. Um,
I'll
I
go with you.
glance.
I don't want you to go alone.
Thanks, thanks, Gully. I glance over at Marty and ask if he wants his tooth back. I can heal him if he wants it.
And he goes, "Could um And so like, I guess I'm not quite sure how to word it, but his puzzling question is, would it regrow or would you simply be putting it back?
Regrow.
Okay. So, he agrees.
Okay. I tell him to you can also yeah, I tell him to hold tight, and I use my 7th level spell slot to I take out my tiny Yiga blade as my spellcasting focus, and I cast regenerate on him. Um and yeah, that should grow his teeth back.
All right. So he give me an insight check.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, not insight. Give me perception.
Okay.
Oh, Marty, I thought you had a little more character without that tooth.
Perception. Natural 1.
Okay. Never mind. You don't see anything.
I look at him and I ask if it worked okay.
And he kind of like dings on it and it's like, good as new. Thank you.
Sure. He's not like fucking with me, is he? I can't tell. I just have no idea if it worked or not.
Okay. So yeah, you see the tooth.
Okay, cool. Okay. Now, here, give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I don't suppose either of you have the water breathing spell?
Sorry, I never thought anything to
Ah,
do it.
I considered it, but at the moment, no.
That's okay. Here, I'm gonna use my spell duplication to cast water breathing on all of us. It can target up to 10 people.
Nice.
All right.
All right, thank you.
What's that?
You don't have to cast it on me. I'm all right, thank you.
Oh, okay, sure. But yeah, so yeah, now
Yeah,
me
I
and
think
Gully.
she's naturally got that water breathing covered.
That's fair. That's fair. Somehow I
Let's have the
forget that
kills.
somehow.
All right.
Okay. So yeah. I say, Gully, with the armor, it might be hard, but it'll also keep you bound to the bottom. We should tie a rope around each other so that neither of us get pulled into the current. Because we could
Oh,
both breathe
that's a good
underwater,
idea.
so thanks. You will be my rock, Gully.
Aw.
All right, that I will.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll tie a rope around my waist and then tie it around like maybe one of Gully's gauntlets so we can like kind of control with the hand a little bit better. Does that work for you? Like around your
That,
wrist maybe?
yeah, that works.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, rope around Gully's wrist and around my waist. I should have rope in one of my packs. I have a bunch of different packs, so
So you notice before you start heading into the water that a storm is starting to gather. You can hear the crack of thunder in the distance, and you can see coming from the um, the water side towards the beach that there is a very large, dark storm cloud um, moving at a pace that it will rather quickly start to um, blot out the sun.
okay. Here, let me let's see. Damn. Golly, we might be using those dancing lights of yours pretty soon.
That's ominous.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to I'm still gonna try and find Leto in the water. I think it's more important that he knows that we give a shit than it is to. I mean, I'm willing to take the risk at least.
All right. So, so you all go into the water. You all have the ability to breathe in the water.
Lasts for 24 hours, so until this time tomorrow.
Okay. So, yeah. You know, I'll just we'll go in increments of, I want to say 50 feet.
Yeah.
I need to
So
check
like,
something real quick. Okay. So with it, like 50 feet out would be like, I would say finally when you start to get to, would be like when Gully would be submerged. When Gully and Afine would like finally hit the submerged level, you're about 50 feet out.
nice.
Um, one of the things that Afine you notice is that it is very um, dark compared to the last time that you were in there.
Ah,
Fairly safe to attribute it just to the storm rolling in. Um, but you notice that once you finally get to the point where you know you are comfortably submerged, that not that far out, um, Leto is just kind of sitting at the bottom of the sea. I want to say roughly 30 feet away.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I guess I'll be sitting on Lily's shoulders for like anchoring myself. Um. And yeah. I'll just ask you if we could head over there and see what's going on with them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we start walking that way. Coming to feet.
she nods and follows.
Right. We're off to see Lido. To Lido we'll go.
All right. Leto, can you describe to me kind of your just state of being right now? More or less, because I don't want to misspeak if I'm about
Mhm.
to say something.
Let's start with the fact that he is sitting at the bottom of the ocean, so it's been a little while, so he's literally let the sand just start like covering over his legs.
Mhm.
He's not really like, it's more like the clenched hands. It's the wanting to scream, but it's not gonna matter. It's There's water, so you can't see that he would probably be crying. He's so pissed off. It's just he's just very angry at the moment. Was seething.
So as you notice, like um, the sand starting to envelop him, um, just like his legs as he stands out. One of the things that as you get closer, you notice that um, the it's the sand as it moves is not moving with the flow of the tide. It's kind of circling Lido in a way. And it's, you know, as I said, it's not something that you being down there and being a good couple yards away from him, um, that you would feel that circular motion, but you can definitely see it in the sand.
I imagine to some extent, I would just indicate that maybe we could just kind of like quietly sit by him, and I probably wouldn't actually say anything because it doesn't really help when you're pissed off, but just show him that we're there for him if he needs him.
So is this
Like,
Lito's version of a spirit bomb, or is he kind of powering up?
It's his Rasengan. How close do you intend on getting to Leto?
probably. Wait, what?
Sorry,
Outside of the
you go ahead.
swirls?
Yeah, I feel that. What was
Okay,
that, Afin?
Within 5 feet.
within 5 feet
Yeah.
or more than 5 feet? I'm sorry.
Within.
Okay,
Closely.
so the
I
second.
feel like we should probably sit like next to him, or at least Deacon will probably do that.
Okay, so once you get within like I want to say 10 feet of him, um, that's when you start to feel like the swirl, and between the circular motion of the swirl and then the rhythmic motion of the undertow, you cannot comfortably get close to him. Like the swirl itself is preventing you from getting any closer than 10 feet.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do either of
Could
you
I
have a?
use. Sorry.
Oh, I was just asking if you had detect magic or something.
Oh, yeah, I do. Well, I'm sure all three of us do.
I have a feeling no.
Lito, can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Are you okay?
Are you trying to talk underwater?
I am.
Blah 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 blah.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so
Well, he can breathe underwater. He just figured he'd be able to speak under there also.
so Leto is um he seems with it, like he seems conscious, he seems cognitive, although he does not seem to be um reacting to things. So like if you were to safely come to a conclusion, and I'm not saying this is a conclusion you have to come to, that you would feel that there is like he's acting as if he does not notice the fact that you guys are there at this current moment in time. But one of the things that everybody give me perception at disadvantage because of this, unless you have dark vision. If you have dark vision, straight perception.
Okay.
I would need a specific room invoked
Hmm.
to not have this at disadvantage, and I don't, so
Can I give out inspirations
disadvantage.
underwater, or is that not going to work?
Um, Given the current situation, I would say you can give inspiration to yourself.
Cool.
But with everyone else, like this is almost like a panicking moment. Like the
Gotcha.
panic hasn't like set in, but
Definitely.
things are kind of like escalating in that direction. Um,
Definitely.
okay,
30.
okay.
Oh, 1 second, sorry.
One second, like you're stepping away, or 1 second, like
I have to
I think
step
he's
away. I'm sorry. I'll
okay,
be back in a couple minutes.
okay. So when Deacon comes back, I will explain what he sees. But Afine, you don't get like a good um beat on what I'm about to say, but Gully with a 14 would. Where Gully, you notice that Leto is holding his left hand around like the center of his chest. And I will say more when Deacon gets back.
Okay.
Hmm.
But yeah. While we're waiting for Deacon to return, is there anything that Gully or Afim want to do? So what we'll do is we'll have Gully and Afim say what they want to do. If they want to do anything, we'll when Deacon comes back, we'll explain what he sees, and then we'll turn it over to Leto to roll out the rest of the scene.
Yeah, so first, does Gully notice if his eyes are open or closed?
Okay, that would be a noticeable thing. Leto, are your eyes open or closed?
They're closed.
That's not going to work then.
Could I use shape water to try and twist the currents a little bit to try and make room for myself to slip through?
Ooh, I
Hmm.
love it.
You can try that.
Neat. I will.
All right.
Looking at this world that's around him, does it look like inside of it it's also swirling? Or is it just kind of like a radius around
The majority of it is around him as a radius, but there is, I guess I would refer to it as kind of like residual, like around his immediate person. It might not be swirling, but just like some things just kind of like naturally kind of get swept inward. So like whatever smaller um, spiraling motion you see closer to his person is just by circumstance, not by as like a product of what's going on. Um,
it? So then if I, for sake of argument, if I were literally standing like right next to him, like touching him, hand on shoulder,
uh,
would that swirl be affecting me to like throw me away or anything?
give me an Arcana check.
I can certainly do that. And let me flip. Arcana, Arcana, Arcana. Ooh, that's not a good. Oh, there we go. Ooh. Okay, I'll take it.
All right, this is actually going to tie into Afine's shape water, which is going to kind of illuminate the physicality of the situation a little bit better. Um, the fact that the water is swirling around him is more an after effect than the actual swirling itself. So preventing the swirling of the water would not dispel the action because
Okay.
what is causing the swirling, and I'm, I'll drop this because of the Arcana check, is that whatever is coming off of Leto at this moment, which since you freaking aced the Arcana check, I will directly tie it to the storm that is brewing up above. Um, that is what the swirling motion is. The swirling motion is emanating from Leto.
Okay. Okay, so then I will not do what I was going to do. I was going to Misty Step inside there. Nah, never mind. He is the swirl.
Yes. So Leto is the swirl, and he is going to so kind of like it's the conclusion that's safely come to at this point is that the reason that you could, like, it's not a barrier that is preventing you from getting closer to 10 feet from him. It is actually something that is forcefully emanating from him. So even if you were to forcibly, and I was going to have like an athletics check be made, like with the DC, but even if an athletics check is made to like force yourself to like try to push through it, since it's since he is the source, it would instantly push you right back out.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. And we're down here and can't talk to each other. Son of a biscuit.
Do you have any sending, any cantrips?
Not since I gave the ring back.
Nope, nothing like that that's going to be beneficial. Still new to this wizardry stuff.
Leader, how many hit points
He's
do you
not
have?
smart enough to know all that yet.
How many hit points? What?
Do you have?
Enough.
So sleep probably wouldn't touch you even at the highest level I can cast. Got it?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Hey, I might have to bounce in a couple minutes, but can I get a quick rundown? Something going on?
Okay, absolutely.
Like,
In fact, I was saving your return for to describe what you saw, so I haven't like said what you saw in it from your check. Um,
thanks.
but from thus far, what has happened is um, Gully has seen that Leto is holding his left arm over the center of his chest. We have determined through spellcasting and arcana checks that the swirl itself is emanating from Leto. So it's not like a barrier that can be crossed. It is something that is constantly just pushing everything away. Um, but
Huh.
what you see is a with I don't even remember what you rolled, but I remember it was like pretty good. Um,
It's a 30.
Uh,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, with the 30, what you see is that the area of the chest that Leto is grabbing, there is a faint green light that kind of is radiating from beneath his armor. You most notably find that it is, you kind of like see it in the shadow of his jawline, um, and lesser so in like certain creases of his armor.
Um, yeah. I guess I'll send in Gully and say, hey, got weird green magic inside him and out from his armor. Any idea what going on? 20 words. Just to Gully, if you can, I don't know. Since I saw you got a good Arcana check, I figured I'd ask you if you can tell what's going on. It's sending, so it's like magical communication. So you can send me a 25-word response as part of the spell.
All right.
Ah,
So,
ah,
Gully now having the green light pointed out to him. Um, I would say that you do kind of like notice it on like the under part of his jawline. But for this, I am going since it's two separate things. I'm going to have you roll me another Arcana check.
okay. Alrighty. So that roll is going to be. I only have a +3, so there we go.
Oh, so
Oh
although
wait, do I have it? Did I get inspiration?
no,
No, I did not.
given
Okay.
the situation, I only let Deacon inspire himself.
Okay.
So yeah, you know what? I'll summarize so we're not like trying to figure out like a 20-word like pattern for this. But Gully kind of like communicates back with Deacon that um, he didn't notice the light, but he noticed it after he pointed it out. But he doesn't know what it is, and um, but you also convey what you do know about how whatever's coming off of what you're looking at right now is directly coming off of Leto.
Okay. I will sending Marty and say the same thing to him.
What did you do?
Marty has no clue. Wait, hold on, let me see if I can fix a mechanic to this. No, Marty has no clue. And he doesn't just say no clue. Like Marty expresses to you that this is not something that he has ever seen manifest within Leto before. Like it is from his perception completely out of character.
Gotcha. Okay. And hmm, I guess I guess it's just a Hail Mary. I'll try casting Sending on Leto for my third cast. My last third level spell slot. Hey, Leto, what's going on? Are you okay in there? It's really worrying us that you might be in danger. 20 words.
I am the one who knocks.
So, you can tell it hits Leto, what you said, and then you also notice something kind of change about Leto. Um, yeah, make sure I can do this. He, you can still see the light, but the rest of his body is getting a lot darker. And as you watch, he kind of turns his head a little bit, and the normal fangs that he had are longer than normal.
Hmm,
He's also starting to grow like spikes out of his body.
damn, that's metal.
And all you kind of get is like a static from his head. Like he's there, but he's not.
Hmm,
That's what you all see.
gotcha.
Okay, so before we give full control of the rest of the scene to Leto, is there anything else anybody would like to attempt to do?
Let's be stupid. Hail Mary, dispel magic on Nido.
Love it.
Upcast to level 4.
Okay. I will tell you in a moment what happens. That will be like the last thing that happens because it will have an effect. But I want to give everyone else a chance before the effect takes place.
Well,
I literally have nothing.
That's fine.
yeah, I
That's
got
perfect.
nothing, man.
Okay. So the as you cast the spell magic at level 4, the surrounding orb, or the motion surrounding Leto stops in an instant, and it creates this big kind of like vacuumed implosion of water, forcing everyone away from the scene. And with this, I'm going to say that the current causes everyone else to kind of get caught in the the functioning of the tide. Like you just find yourselves like swirling, knocking into each other, just the whole bit, and eventually you end up getting washed up on the beachfront. And the moment you all get washed up on the beachfront, Marty just kind of like runs up, starts pulling you all from the water, deeper into the beach, and you can see that the storm itself is completely in like full swing, high winds, large cracks of thunder. And after a brief moment, you start to see, which starts off as that familiar green light that you have noticed, and it gets brighter as Leto starts to emerge from the crashing waves. And now I'll hand it over to Leto.
So Leto walks out of the waves. Still that much darker color. It's kind of like just stopping around that light. It's not long fanged anymore. Not spiky anymore. He is shorter though. Probably like 5 foot now. And he's just
Huh.
staring daggers at Marty.
Marty
Did he just go
is
back in time? Sorry.
um Deacon, give me an Arcana check. Yeah, an Arcana check. Marty is like frozen. Just I hesitate to use certain words. I want to say petrified, but he's not like turned to stone. He is just frozen in fear, seeing this with Leto. Um, Arcana 8, not high enough to divulge what's going on.
That's fair.
So Leto would proceed to keep walking out of the water. He would walk to about 30 feet from Marty, and you would see him just point and go down. We'd cast Grasping Vine to basically make Marty smash himself into the ground and pull him closer. If you want that, I'll put that in chat real quick. So that way you know what he has to roll. Yeah. It's actually DC 19. I don't know why it hasn't updated. So he's got to make a dex check of a 19, or he's pulled towards me.
Give him -1. Fails.
So smaller Leto will actually shrink another foot. And now he's about 4 foot. He's just looking down. You didn't have to. You could have explained it sooner. But you let me believe. And he'll release Grasping Vine and let's call Lightning right on top of Marty. And it's a DC 19. I don't know why it's not updating.
He takes it. You all can
See.
start to smell the same aroma that you were smelling not too long ago. The aroma of searing flesh on the campfire, except now it's coming off of Marty.
Check something real quick. I have to roll another D10 because it's storming and it's outside.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually took 31.
His breathing is heavily labored, and his eyes are just, say his eyes are closed, probably due to a mixture of the rain, the blood, and the sear. And is the vine around his neck?
The vine has been released.
Okay. Oh, okay. So when you called the lightning, it released the vine.
Yeah, it
Okay.
releases it.
Got it. Okay. So in that case, he kind of just like collapses in on his, leaning back on his legs with his whole body just limping forward. And he looks up at you, says, "Who are you?"
I'll step up to him, a finger on his chest, and be like, I'm what you created. And I'll call lightning on both of us. 'Cause I don't care at the moment. It's another C19. Oh, look. Let's do this that way I can also have to roll. Okay. So I only take 15 points. He takes 31 if he failed.
He failed. He got a 3 or a 2. he completely collapses. And he falls headfirst at Leto's feet, and he starts to muster up a whatever energy he can, and he puts his hand on one of your legs, almost in an attempt to pull himself up, and his grip, especially for what has just gone down, is surprisingly firm. And as you feel the arm start to pull himself up, in that very moment his body collapses.
So Lito will bend down to him, whisper two specific things. Didn't say you could die yet. And I will cast heal on him at 7th level. So he's got 60 hit points again. And then I will literally sit on top of his chest as he comes back, look him in the eye. So, who am I? That's all he'll say, staring at him.
I don't know, but I know who you are not. You are not that kind, bright-eyed, whimsical child that I saved all those years ago.
Saved. You had me cursed. And that was saving? Away from my family. That was saving. Well, Pops, and I'll slap him in the face. You kind of failed.
Yes, I did my best. And I know that somewhere in there still there is the real Leto.
Well, if he is, he's probably screaming right now. And I'll take out the sickle and just draw it across his chest.
Straight roll me crit damage.
so 15 points of damage.
Okay. The dude looks at you and he says, "It appears that we have scarred each other."
Yeah. I think my scarring goes a little bit deeper. I'll cut again.
Give me crit again.
Only 10 that time.
Okay.
So with that, it's gonna step off of him, and I do that back kick with, like dirt onto him, and I will walk around to the other side of the house. And Puck, I will let you know exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Okay. Shoot me a message. While you're doing this, give me intimidation at advantage, and fuck, for shits and giggles, I'll throw a +5 on there.
So a 21.
21. All right. Everyone else, roll me con saves. DC being 21. All right.
Start
So,
finding mine.
con save. Yep. Okay. So,
I'm using a die. D4. Eating a cookie for this. Got 2. 21.
21. Okay. Um, so through this altercation, Athena and Gully, you are just, I'm not going to say like paralyzed with fear, but you are just so kind of like caught up in this, like blindsided by this moment, that watching this all unfurl is kind of like, it doesn't seem like reality. And for that, you have been you ended up unable to act on this. um Deacon, just hitting the DC, you are able to do kind of like a few small things, like um untie yourself from the situation, from the ropes. um After the during the situation, I would even say that you probably like spend a little bit of effort, like trying to maybe like shake Athena and Gully, trying to get them to like
Mhm.
snap out of it, and not in a way that would like
Mhm.
draw a lot of attention to yourself, but more or less like you have some mobility in action. And as Lido Give me a sleight of hand check, Deacon.
Okay. Sick. 40. I'm
Okay.
very good at this.
Yeah, you're definitely able to get like everyone kind of like unbound from the situation, so that when they kind of like come to, they're ready to go. And with that, you are also able to do what you have said as Lita was walking away and going kind of like around the back of the hut.
Okay.
Um, and I'll also say that the moment that Leto comes or goes out of view, the storm completely dissipates. So, um, once the storm dissipates, then at that point, pretty much everyone kind of like is able to kind of snap to. And what you find is you find that Marty is kind of there, just really a busted tooth definitely would have been the least of his worries at this point. um, but he looks like he's in bad shape. You can see um, on the beach there are a number of kind of like black singed sand spots. You can see kind of areas where it appears that there has been amounts of blood pooling going on, and Marty looks like he's been through the ringer.
Hmm. Um, can I do another sleight of hand check to just like roll him a health potion?
I mean, if do you want to, or do you just want to give it to him?
I mean, I want to give it to him from a distance.
Okay, so you want to like roll it, like to, um,
Yeah,
okay,
I'll like just throw it or something.
yeah, absolutely. Give me a sleight of hand check to roll the
In
potion
case
over
I
to
had a natural 1 and conk his head or something, you know.
him. Yeah,
Oh, natural 20.
okay.
That's kind of funny.
So he's standing. He's there. He's kind of like a bit wobbly, and you roll
That's
the
a medium health potion, like the 44 plus 4.
awesome. Okay. Do you wanna roll the points for me?
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'll do that. 84. He gets 15 back.
Okay. That brings him back to -5 health, right? No, -10. Okay. So he's at full HP -10 right now. And yeah, he how far away from him is everybody right now? How far away from Marty is everybody? Like he's
I am
stationary, so it's your
still.
call. He's not moving.
Okay. I had intended to stand just like right by Gully wherever it is the weed surfaced.
Not close
Uh,
at all because of all the call lightning.
All right.
I
So we want to
guess I'd
say
be a little closer
hi.
then, like fresh out of the thing. Um,
Okay. So we'll say like 50 feet to be safe, or you want to get
Yeah,
yeah,
closer?
that's
that's
that
perfect.
sounds about good. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So from 50 feet, what you see is you see him taking the potion, but you see he's just there is a level of exhaustion there that um that a healing potion is not going to correct. Like there is just a
Yeah.
deeper level of like mental exhaustion going on. Like
Oh yeah. No, I understand. That's more just to, keep him off death's door for a couple seconds.
yeah, he was approaching it.
Seemed like.
All right. So So the storm has dissipated. Leto has traveled behind the hut, and Marty has been given a healing potion, recovering 15 points by Deacon. What is the next step?
Honestly, I'm gonna get a little bit closer to Marty and just kind of like inspect him a little bit.
Hmm.
Like just visually, like, I don't know, be looking at him maybe like 20 feet away at this point. Just kind of like walk over to approach.
Okay.
I look for signs of, like, if Leto's come back around the other, peeking around or anything like that.
Give me a investigation to see if Leto. See if you can find Leto. See if you can what you can see in the direction that Leto walked in. There we go.
Investigation. Okay.
Yep.
4. I got nothing, Chief.
Yeah, unfortunately. Um, you're aware of the direction he walked in, but you just kind of from your current location, yeah, there's really nothing that is visible to you
I start walking.
in the direction.
Yes.
Okay. Um, you know what? Let me start. Okay, so saying that you are where you are in the map, like saying that you're still kind of in the approximation of the area of the.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, how? Uh, give me how far you're walking next. Like
I will literally.
put me in a
I'm
direction.
I'm I'm literally gonna just say that, like, I'm fully walking, like, after Leto.
Okay, so entirely until something happens.
Yes.
Okay. You go to the hut. You start to make your way around the hut, and you find Leto face down in the sand, in his completely normal state, unconscious.
Hmm.
Let me just give it a quick double check. I think I got it.
Mhm.
Yeah. He is breathing. You can kind of see that he has a kind of like a regular rhythmic, maybe a little bit shallow breathing going on, but yeah, fully unconscious and in his normal state.
Mhm.
No horns,
I'm
no darkness, normal height.
okay. I'm just gonna stare at him for a couple minutes. Well, I'm just gonna, like, just eerily stand there and stare at him.
All right. Um, for how long? Let me rephrase. How long until you want to take an action, if at all?
Um, I I will do it in real time if that's okay with you, as
Okay.
he can figures out what he's gonna say.
All right.
I will take this by I will interrupt you when if that's okay.
Got it. All right. So taking it back to Gully and Afine, um, as you kind of like sort of take in that this really just went down, like you witnessed an act of savagery that to my immediate recollection, um, none of you have witnessed in the campaign. Um, I will not comment on backstories, but during the campaign, this is definitely the one of the worst things that you have seen thus far. So, um, what would you like to do?
No idea.
That's perfectly fine. That would be perfectly fitting for character at this point. How about you, Afine? I'd also said
having
that both of you see kind of like Deacon run off in that direction too. I'm sorry.
also
Well, where the
having
heck is he
going to this
going?
clue. I don't know. I
What the heck is going on right now? Is any of this making sense to you, Fiend?
sense no. I we need to get rid of that sword.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to walk up to Marty and try and cure wounds him,
All right.
just to see if I can help a little extra bit.
Yeah, I'll head over with you.
Sounds good. Give me a roll on that. And as you're cure wounding Marty, he looks at you and he goes, "What sword?"
It looks like I don't know. They've been calling it the Master Sword or something. Pure evil. Literally, even holy water won't touch it.
And Marty kind of like connects the dots. Says, I, 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 I knew that couldn't have been Leto. I've never, ever seen that much anger, that much hate, that raw, untethered rage. I've never seen that in him, and I knew that it could not have truly been him. And Marty's hit points are fully restored. He's like,
We gotta start working on a way to get rid of that sword ASAP.
Marty goes, I saw him go that way, but if you're going after him, just be careful. As I said, that is not Leto. So do you travel in the direction that you saw Deacon go to look for Leto?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I take off rather quickly, actually.
I would like to have flipped Leto onto his back.
Okay.
Just that's it. And I imagine Leto is fairly strong, and I'm fairly light, so I am mimicking his earlier gesture, sitting on his chest.
All right. Um,
Right.
not a problem. You know what? I mean, yeah. You know what? Shits and giggles. Give me an athletics to flip him.
Okay, here, give me one sec. 17.
Okay, that's strong enough. So as
Okay.
as Gully and Fiend start approaching, you just see Leto kind of like sprawled out in the sand, and you see Deacon with uh, more frustration than you've probably ever seen coming from Deacon as he is rolling Leto over.
Okay. I, if it's okay, I would like to have done that like just before Gully gets here.
Okay.
Just sorry, I know I should have said that, but I thought of that just like yeah, I was typing too much and I got too into it.
So like, can he like at the point
Yeah,
at which you're planning on doing it, can he like see it as he's traveling, or you want it even before that?
he can see it as he's traveling. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
All right. So yeah. So
Yeah,
okay.
like yeah.
Gotcha. So all right. So Wafine and
Um,
Gully see him flipping over Leto, just and as I said, like there is just this level of frustration, like as he gets like to the tipping point, you just see him like really just, I mean, Deacon's not a physically strong, you know, scrub, but when like that like tipping point, he just like really throws his body into it to just kind of like really kind of accent flipping Leto over. Um, Before they get there, are you looking for anything specific after you flip him?
uh, honestly, so it's has it been 10 minutes yet? I would
Uh,
like to imagine it's only been like five or so, but if it's even been that,
since you got there,
yeah, since I got
yeah,
there.
you'd still be within a 10-minute window.
Okay. Um. So so there's like a brief second, like I'm gonna level with you. Deku is kind of like hyper focused, and now at this point he's like also kind of seething a little bit. Like you can see that he's fairly angry himself. Um,
Hmm.
and okay, so I'm gonna smack him, like just across the face. I'm gonna smack him. Um, yeah, that's it. I'm gonna smack him across the face. See if he wakes up.
He does not.
I'm gonna keep doing it until he wakes up. And if he doesn't wake up by the third one, I'm gonna start yelling at him. I'm gonna say, "Is this what it's come to, Leto? Wanton murder? That's your business now? That's what you do?" Smack. Couldn't stop at Bradford. Couldn't stop doing it for that kind of money, and now you stoop to torture. When we first met, I could understand you, Leto. When you pulled this same trick on the Xanisters, I could understand how they were evil. But this, now, he welcomed you with open arms. You introduced him as family in the span of a few hours. He's the source of all your problems. Smack. It's time to face the music, Leto. The world isn't to blame for these problems. It's not to blame for taking things away from you, and you can't take it out on everyone else that things you've done have gone wrong. We're all
Smack,
equally
smack, smack.
culpable. Yes, we're all equally culpable for every change that we've made. Every person in the world. Smack. We all try to do things, Leto, and we all have them go wrong. We're all going to die someday, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. It's not anybody's fault, not even Hylia's. You fight constantly against the way things are as if it's at everyone else's hands that you suffer. I've got news for you. Everything is fine, Leto, and it's fine because of the people we used to be. Romeo made his own mistakes. Marty made his. I made mine, and you made yours. You act like the world is in this grim state of affairs because people are happy in a rich part of town and the Gorons had a civil war because the world isn't instantly perfect just because we had superpowers for 2 weeks. Nothing has to be perfect and nothing ever will be perfect. Smack. Life is flawed and you need to get used to it. It's no excuse to give up. Not now. Not ever. We need the Leto you used to be and we need him now. Give him back to us. Smack. I want the Leto I made friends with. The one that helped me make Kens and Cetos and knows how to have fun no matter what's going on. And I'm just shaking him against the ground at this point.
Okay. So, wow. Um, Fuck, I am enthralled by this. Um, Okay, so Gully and Afine arrive as Deacon is like they see the slapping, they hear, and when he finally just starts shaking him, that is when Gully and Afine arrive to Deacon and Leto. Um, at this point, Leto opens his eyes.
And at this point, Deku saying, "You were the one I could count on, always, now and then and forever. You had the best judgment out of all of us. You were there to help me when we had accidents and problems. You were the one who bailed us out of things. You can't just give up like this. You can't let this get the better of you. You can be more. We can all be more. That's what we should be doing right now, Leto, not giving up into our impulses. We should be trying to be better so we can make things better, because that's what we did with the Gorons, with the X slums. We made things better in the end, even if there was strife in the middle. That's what we can do because we're persistent and we care. And the second you lose that caring for this world is the second you do that. And he points over at Morty. The second you stoop to torture is the second you've failed what you always used to be, Leto. You're more than this. I need you back.
Did you say slap?
Yes.
All right, at the slap, Leto goes
Like just
unconscious.
at the very end.
Leto, give me a death roll. All right. Any actions?
Yeah, I'm going to just panting. I'm gonna drop Tensor's transformation. I have to give you a check. I'm gonna use a D4 on that because I need to make it. Okay, perfect. And then I am just going to yeah, I'm gonna just dump a 5th level healing word into him.
Okay.
So
All right. So, and that brings Leto back to
just like
conscious.
literally panting, like yeah, literally just panting, like yeah, 15 HP back.
All right. So, Leto, you again open your eyes for a second time, and you find an irate Deacon on top of you. And admittedly, you still kind of feel, well, you know what? Actually, how do you take in this moment? Leto?
We figure
Uh,
out exactly the response.
Oh, okay.
uh,
I think
what
your camera's frozen, I think. Okay. Oh,
I
okay.
assumed it was just being that stoic. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too. I was debating that for a second.
Yeah, no, I honestly at this point, um, he gonna probably just like seeing the silence, probably lean up, like seeing that that had some clear effects, and he's just gonna like point at him in the face and go, Leto, you're my best friend here. Nothing's going to change that, but we need to change you. I know you're capable of more than this. I'm not going to give up on you, even if you give up on everything else, Leto. You're stuck with me. I will chase you down to the ends of the earth if that's what you make me do, but I will show you that you are capable of better than this. because you are my best, and he just like nudges you in the chest, friend, and you will continue to be that way.
Ito will turn his head to the side and can't look at Dekun. He's literally just gonna say the only words that are on his mind right now. Ask him who I am.
I don't even know if he's conscious. Deacon sighs. He gets up off Leto, and then he says, "Fine, I'll humor you." Um, I go over to Marty. I let him just kind of sit there. Um, and yeah, I check on Marty real quick. Is he still conscious?
Marty is conscious, and he still looks like a, a good bit damaged. Like he still looks like he's been through the ringer, but aside from that, he's back to full HP.
Mm-mm.
Like even like from like when you saw him moments prior, like he physically looks better than that. But like for
Yeah.
example, like the like what was it, the sickle scythe, the sickle that was like made the marks on his body, like the they kind of almost look like they're still there. They look like big singular cat scratches at this point rather than like deep gashes.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
so he's like
Like,
clearly like been through things at this point.
mhm,
He's
mhm,
you know
gotcha. So, Deacon's going to take a deep breath, and he's going to approach Marty, and he's going to say, "Well, what in the hell did you do to him to make him that way? What is it that you think he is that he doesn't think he is? You have to let us in on something, Marty. You have to know something about this."
I've never seen that side of him before, but your friend Scully in the feed said something about him having an evil sword, and if I had to take a guess, I would say that's what it is. It must be some type of curse or something.
The only curse he mentioned is one he said you put on him. Care to elucidate?
Listen, I don't know how much Leto has told you about the early years of his life, and there were a lot of things said in the heat of that moment, and where is he? Is he okay?
I I shake my head. I point in the direction of Leto. I say, he's not okay. He needs you to acknowledge what has gone wrong. He needs you to realize that there are there are things that were done to him beyond what he wanted to happen. That there are things that did things to him that were choices he didn't make. He clearly resents that, and you need to, at the very least, apologize. If you won't tell me what it is that you did to him, then I suppose only you two will know. But if you are going to keep that secrecy, then you had sure as hell make right on it, because I am not going to allow him to continue like this for much longer. And if I do, then you aren't going to be allowed to continue for much longer. You understand?
This is just Help me over to him, please.
I cast enhance ability strength on myself to double my carrying capacity and kind of like try to lead him over back to Lido.
All right. So you help him kind of like hobble over, and he sees Lido back in his original state, and he just breaks down and just starts bawling. Says, I don't know the full extent of what caused that to happen to you. But I'm willing to accept that I somehow had a part in it. And I never meant to send you down a, a wicked path. And I only ever wanted to do what was best for you and for every way that I know I have failed you, and for every way that I am unaware that I have failed you. Please know, even if you can't accept, that I'm sorry.
Just ask the simple question.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you actually do it?
I did what I felt needed to be done because nobody else was going to have the strength to do it. And I felt at the time that not only was it that it might not have been the best option, but it was the only option that I had available to me.
I mostly know who I am now. Remember when I your tooth out? First one.
He picks it out of his pocket and he holds it up. As I remember.
comes down to this simple thing. I don't think I could forgive you, but I think I'm gonna have to accept it. If you want to make things at least slightly okay, there is to Dad.
What was that last part?
I think you should go apologize to Dad. My dad. It might be time to leave here for a little bit. There's a lot going on out there. You're missing out.
He kind of nods his head reassuringly and he says, I suppose it's been a journey that I have put off for too long. And you know, it's kind of funny because when you showed up here, I kind of assumed that you were coming so that I could show you something, teach you something, and after the events that have taken place today, I see that fate has a funny way of reversing things sometimes. This beach that has been an escape and in a refuge, maybe over time has become a prison of my own design. You're right. Thank you.
I'm gonna ground myself. I'm going to my room.
I salute Leto and say, let me know when you want to head to back to Zora's domain or something.
I think I have to heal up since you beat the crap out of me.
You needed that. Let's be fair. I could heal up. I agree though. I think we should all take a nice long rest. Deacon says, I'm glad you're back to your senses. I'm gonna give you another healing word just to ease the pain a little bit. Physical pain, I
I'm
mean,
just
of course.
gonna be like, I think it's good for the soul.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It reminds you. I chime in. I nod and say, sometimes it reminds you that you're still alive.
Gillian Afine, how are you taking this whole scene?
Effine is currently pretending like she wouldn't have let. She's trying to pretend that she wouldn't have been happy to just let Lido kill him. And that's disturbing her, and it's bringing up a lot of her emotions, so she's just gonna stay quiet and pretend like she's not there.
Is Athene connecting the acts that she saw today to anything on a personal level?
In a few ways.
I understand. And I'm
So
sorry, what? Hmm?
where exactly is a fiend compared to where we are on the map?
Oh, yeah, that'd be kind of like. So both Athene and Gully had kind of come up on, when by the time Deacon was here. Yeah, actually, were you close enough to witness what went down at that point? Because if you witnessed everything, I would put you guys a couple blocks north, at least being in line of sight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, it was a fairly lengthy verbal exchange. So I mean, at that point, like, yeah, you guys would be given enough time to situate yourselves for everyone. So yeah, Finn and Gully did kind of they were uh, in an area that they witnessed everything that kind of like went down from the moment that Deacon was on top of you to the moment that we find ourselves at right now. Actually, now you said you're in your room, right?
Yeah, I went.
All right. Give me a perception check.
Fourteen.
14. There is something in your room that's out of place. Something that has not traditionally been there.
Go over
Chronologically,
and look at it.
chronologically, what we're doing right now was planned to happen after something else, but nonetheless, 14 and you see it. Um, it's a very heavy stone stone slab that is kind of like cracked and broken on um on like a 45-degree angle, and it has writing on it. What are your languages?
Um, I know ancient, common, Ku, Draconic, Gerudo, and of course Zoran.
You said ancient. You can read the tablet. The tablet at first glance looks like it weighs at least like 200 pounds. In fact, if you want to give me a DC, uh, if you want to give me a DC 12, let me see if I can make this something a little bit more specific. Might just call it a wisdom check. I'll just call it a straight up wisdom check. DC 12.
I'm very wise. 26 again.
Okay. It's a gravestone.
Oh,
And on it, so the the writing on it is incomplete writing, but the words that you can read on it. Fuck. Read. Leto, you have shown me a love I have never felt in all my centuries. As my final gift, I give you my full protection. There's more writing, but it is not on the stone itself.
I don't have the mental fortitude at the moment. He just walks right into the water and just sits with, laying at the top, just staring at the ceiling.
Yeah, understood. So the stone itself appears to have been, I will say, found and intentionally placed in your room. And since it wouldn't be that difficult to connect the dots from a conversation you had earlier today, you would gather that for all of his cryptic wording today, that this is why Marty thought you came back. Yeah. So Lita goes back into the water, and the the events of today have undoubtedly left people feeling confused, exhausted, even more confused. We have we have unveiled a very special and unique mechanic today. And for those who know, and for those who don't know, we will happily and excitedly be talking about it next week. So, however, I do want to end this session on a very,
Wait, I got a question.
yes,
This is important.
I'm
It's
listening.
dumb but important. I want to leave it on a better note.
It's important.
Did the sandcastle make it?
Ooh, very important question.
The sandcastle is now a glass castle.
Excellent. Wow. From the lightning. The lightning made it into glass. Beautiful. Thank you, Leto. I appreciate it.
Oh,
It's just like in the Gerudo Desert.
you just thank Lito for when he cast lightning.
I mean, two sides to every coin, right?
That's right. So, tension at the beach has. I am hesitant to call the situation harmonious, but things are better than they were. the day has been a long day, and some people are understandably more exhausted than others. But nonetheless, time has a tendency to march on, and we have unveiled no small number of interesting things today. So, everyone, thank you for joining us today. It has been a phenomenal session. It has been an intense session, and I want to thank Gully, Deacon, Lido, and Fiend for having me run such an amazing session, and I want to thank you all for being so amazing. Um, Everyone who has a moment, feel free to check out the links on our link tree. Check out our Cataclysm YouTube page, join our Discord, all that fun stuff. Hopefully, we will have our session up and running relatively quickly. I'm aiming, excuse me, aiming to have it up by Wednesday. Um, so for everyone, so yes, so much trauma. Oh, Roddy, when that video gets posted, you really got to check out what you missed. You really do. Uh, Amazing session. So I hope everyone has a safe, wonderful, and healthy Halloween. I hope you have lots of responsible fun out there, and we'll see you all next week. So until then, thank you again, and bye.
Bye.
Mm.